Greetings, fellow replicants. Hello and welcome. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. It is the 18th day of May, 2022. It's 59 degrees and hazy June gloom here at Site B. And it is I, your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, and general internet nonsense that is the OGGM. It is time to take a look at all the crowdfunding Kickstarter role-playing projects that are coming to an end this week, but you still have a chance to support them. As always, I may toss in my personal 2 cents about these, as I usually do, and I do come across as slightly judgmental, but generally I want you to be careful with your money. But as always, who the fuck cares what I think? If I mention something that you're interested in, whether I'm for it or against it, go out and support it. It's the only way for a lot of these small press publishers to get their stuff on the market. And, it helps everybody out. So if anything I mention is something you're interested, head on down to your friendly local game store. That's Dreamworld Collectibles here at Ventura, California. And ask them to look into these projects. From Rowan, Rook, and Descartes. These guys usually make good stuff. We have Die, the role-playing game. Pretty sure Die is a word that might trigger people, so already you've got that. It's the Die was a Hugo-nominated Image comic about a fantasy world where you had people in the real world who were sucked into their fantasy game, kind of like I died and was resurrected as a character in my favorite MMORPG. What do they call it? Isazaki? Or whatever kind of thing, and found out that the fantasy world was not all it was cracked up to be. So, it's very much... so it's a game about a comic book that was about a bunch of gamers playing their game that then got sucked into their game and had to survive in the world of their game and found out that maybe the world of their game wasn't as, fun and exciting as they thought it was. Yeah. And it won some awards. And I never even saw it on the shelf at CES, but I know it was out there and I was always sort of interested in it. So yeah, it's an original system. The 300-page rule book, most popular pledge is $40. $40 for a 300-page rulebook? That is not bad. That is reasonable. I don't know what system it looks out. There is already a free beta version of the rules available, so if you're a fan of the comic, if you're a fan of the idea, if you're a fan of, what is it called? Isazaki or whatever, I died and was resurrected in a fantasy world, and I don't know, whatever. And I'm sure if nobody has complained yet about the fact the game is called Die, someone will. Because remember, Die is problematic. Moving on from No Net Ones, N-O-N-A-T, the number 1 S, so it's No Natural Ones, is the name of the company. We have Sinclair's Library, NPC Codex and Player Guide, for D&D and Pathfinder. It's a source book. It's $40. It's the most popular pledge. It offers a tomb of NPCs and a collection of powers and magic items and stuff like that. You also get what looks like some dice and some figures and some other thingies with it. So if you're interested in looking at another person's attempt to create maps and dice and NPCs for $40, it's both for D&D 5e and Pathfinder's 2e. The name of the company is No Nat Ones, and the most popular pledge is $40. From Kobold Press, we have the Campaign Builders, Cities and Towns for 5th edition. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition sourcebook. Most popular pledge is $44. It is, as it says, a book about advice on how to create a town and the type of things you might find in the town, and also concludes maps and stuff that you can put together to create your fantasy town. So if you're looking for a good general guide on fantasy town building and you haven't found one that you like yet, maybe this is it for you. The Kobold Press stuff is usually pretty good from what I've been told. Yeah, So I can't really find anything bad about this. I mean, other than $44 for a book and maps and stuff like that to help you design, if you can't find a copy of Votehaven, or some of the other older stuff for City Guides or City State of the Invincible Overlord, this might be it. So, I don't know. From Craftnado Games, you have the Kalemba role-playing game. Okay, first you win for Craftnado, but Kalymba role-playing game. This is a Brazilian role-playing game. I think we mentioned this before. So it's a Brazilian role-playing game based upon the myths, magics, history of Brazil, South America, all that stuff. Inspired by the cultures of that world and Africa and, the other places. So it's an original system, 300 pages for $25 is the most popular pledge. Africa, South America, Brazilian-inspired RPG, Calambra from Craftnado Games. I don't know what system it uses. It doesn't say. So check it out. From Limitless Adventure, we have for D&D 5e, Yelera Valley, Ylera. It's a 5e Eldritch horror setting. It's a mountain valley with Cthulhu-type monsters. $15 is the most popular pledge for a adventure about D&D characters running up against Eldritch horrors, which, of course, if you use 5e as written, isn't really that scary. Eldritch horror doesn't really work with 5e as written unless you change 5e, and then it's not 5e. So if you're going to run fantasy Eldritch horror, why don't you just run Mork Borg? From Homebrew and Hacking, we have Homebrew and Hacking Crafting Personalized Feats. This is for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is a source book. $8 is the most popular pledge. It's rules on new feats for 5e and rules of how to create your own feats for 5e. So if there aren't enough feats in 5e for you, I think there's between official Wizards of the Coast feats from official books and DM's Guild Wizards of the Coast approved books, I know there's over 100 feats. I want to say 600, but I think that's wrong. But I do know there are a lot of official feats and semi-official feats. So if those aren't enough for you, I can say without any fear of contradiction, there are at least 100 feats, if not more, between all the books and the semi-official DM's Guild stuff. But if that's not enough for you, here's a book for $8 that also has new feats, but tells you how to write your own feats. Because apparently you don't have enough imagination to just look at the 100+ feats as printed and go, yeah, I like that one. No, I don't like that one. That one's okay, but I might change it. Yeah. All right, this might be my do you really need this of the day. From Julian K, we have Mutants in the Next, Expanding the Mutant Animal Tabletop Role-Playing Game. This is a source book for Mutants in the Now, which is a game that was trying to recreate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles feel of anthropomorphic mutant animals at the gaming table. So $45 gets you the latest book in the Mutants in the Now, Mutants in the Next mutant animal system. Who doesn't love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and who doesn't want to see anthropomorphic ninja animals back in their fantasy modern day game? So yeah. From Cameron Day, we have Spellpunk, Solar and Sunder. This is a Dungeons & Dragons source book for $10. It's an elemental apocalypse and how your player characters deal. No, I'm sorry. You cannot use a word called spellpunk. No, nope. Sorry. No. I draw the line right there. Stop using our word. I will not support any product that uses punk as a way to get you to go, ooh, spell punk. There's no such fucking thing as spell punk. There was punk. Punk died. That was it. All right, I'm off my punk soapbox. So yeah, looks like my, I don't know if this is worth your money for the week, is the Homebrew and Hacking Personalized Feats book and Spellpunk. You can make up your own mind. Oh, and Elderith Horror for 5e. Yeah, so those are the ones I would say. But make up your own mind. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot with a computer like everybody else. Head on down to your friendly local game store. That's Dreamworld Collectibles here in Ventura, California. And ask them to look into it for you and see if it's something you actually want to get. Till next time, I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, and general internet nonsense, reminding you once again, as long as you and your players are having fun, you're not playing D&D wrong. And anybody who tells you you are playing D&D wrong, just ask them to prove it. Just say, go ahead, go get Gygax, bring him over here, and have him tell me I'm playing D&D wrong. I'll wait. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Talk to you soon. And as always, get out of my dystopian future, you damn robots!